Greetings, students. Beta, yesterday we have started chapter 2 of social science, class 7, chapter 2 of geography, that is inside our earth. We have discussed about the different layers of the earth, that is crust, mantle, and core. Now we are going to discuss types of rocks. So mainly there are three major types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So when the molten magma cools, it becomes a solid. So in the rocks formed in this way are called igneous rocks. They are also called primary rocks. And then we have two types of igneous rocks: intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks. So when the molten magma, it comes on the earth surface, it cools down very quickly and becomes solid, and rocks formed in such a way are called extrusive igneous rocks, and they have very fine grained structure, and basalt is an example of extrusive igneous rocks. Then the Deccan Plateau is made up of basalt rocks, means extrusive igneous rocks. Sometimes this molten magma, it cools down deep inside the earth's crust. Then solid rocks, then it cools down and becomes a solid, and the rocks formed in such a way, they are called intrusive igneous rocks. Since they cool down slowly, they form large grains. Granite is an example of such kind of rocks. Then grinding stone used to prepare paste, powder of spices, and grains are made up of granite. So granite is an example of intrusive igneous rocks. When the rocks roll down, crack, and hit each other, they are broken into small fragments or small pieces. And these smaller particles or pieces, these are called sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. So these loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks, and these types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. Example: sandstone is made from grains of sand. So these rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks under great heat and pressure. For example, clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. And in this, the word origin we have discussed that metamorphic, that is originated from a Greek word, that is metamorphos, and it means change of form. Okay, so this is when the igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks under great heat and pressure changes their form, it leads to the formation of metamorphic rocks. Then the rocks are used by us in our daily life, means the room in which you people are sitting. Can you tell me, are there any kind of rocks used in the room where you are sitting? Means the floor maybe of marble, maybe some kind of tiles are used, so rocks are used over there. Yes. So where other you are using rocks for when people they play, students or the small children they play like a pittu, hopscotch, stapu you say, or some five small kind of five stones the girls they used to play gitti, I think that is called. So the children they use in playing also. Then the stones, they are used in grinding, like we have just read upside that these grinding stones, these are the example of intrusive igneous rocks we have read about. Hanji. So in grinding these grains or spices, etc. Then rocks are also used in making talcum powder. Rocks are some other places also you people can for making buildings, like one example is given here that this red fort, it is made up of red sandstone. Then Taj Mahal, marble. Okay, so these are some of the examples. And beside all this, our rocks are used for making statues or sculptures also. So there also the rocks are used. So we have rocks or or we use rocks in many ways. Then comes on the rock side cycle. So how it the rocks, they change to another type of rocks. They now let's start. So you will be surprised to know that one type of rock changes to another type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of transformation of the rock from one to another is known as rock cycle. You have already learned when the molten magma cools, it solidifies to become igneous rocks. These igneous rocks are broken down into small pieces, particles that are transported and deposited to form sedimentary rocks. When sedimentary when the igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rocks. The metamorphic rocks, which are still under great heat and pressure, melt down to form molten magma. This molten magma again can cool down and solidify into igneous rocks. Now see, the journey of rocks, it starts from the molten magma. And see, from molten magma, igneous rocks, then sedimentary rocks. Then from igneous and sedimentary rocks we have metamorphic rocks, and then again metamorphic rocks, they changes into molten magma. So this, in this way, the cycle of formation of rocks continues. So this is about rock cycle. Now let's move. Rocks are made up of different minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties like and definite chemical composition. Please underline this line. What are minerals? Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. So minerals are very important to humankind. Some are used as fuel, for example, coal, natural gas, and petroleum. They are also used in industries, iron, aluminium, gold, uranium, etc. In medicine, in fertilizers. So, see, these minerals, they are used in one or the other way in our daily life. The salt you use daily, that is also a mineral. You know it. The pen with which you write, that is also made up of some metal. The nib of your pen, metal. Hanji. And the table or chair on which you are sitting, that is also some kind of metal. Any kind of metal is used in your furniture. Even if you say that this is furniture of wood, even then some nails, these are used. These are metals. Metals are also a form of minerals. So beta, minerals are an indispensable part of our life. and are used in our daily life. So this is all about our chapter, that is Hanji, inside our art. So what our mother art is giving us a lot. So if you have any question query related to the chapter, you can ask me tomorrow in the class. Have a nice day.